Light installers. Tigers win. Tigers win. Massive series win for LSU over Alabama. They take the first two games of the weekend, 11-6, and then on Friday night, 4-3, and got a little hairy at times. You had a great start offensively. Then you kind of got back into a few bad habits later in the ball game. You're stuck on 4 runs, but your pitching was really good. You combine 2 pitchers, Anthony Iansson, Zack Cowan. We're going to talk about both of them, obviously, and there were plenty of good things offensively as well for LSU in this ball game that I want to get into, even though down the stretch you did falter a bit. Smash the like button. Please share if you have not already as well. Get subscribed to the podcast. All of that is greatly appreciated. Let's start at the top with Anthony Eyanson. That first inning got hairy on him for sure, and quickly. The first 2 batters reach. You have a walk, and then you have the double by LeBron, and at that moment, I mean, you are just right in the thick of it, from jump. He was behind in the count. It looked like, to me at least, he was really struggling with fastball command early in that ball game. And that's not a spot you've seen Iansson in. You've seen him have struggles early in the game, but more often than not, it's been with his breaker, his breaking ball, and or the, he calls it a slider, or, it looks more like a splitter to me. But the fastball has really always been pretty good for him. That wasn't tonight early. But to his credit, man, he battled his ass off all night, but specifically in that first inning. I mean, the bases end up loaded in that inning, and he keeps it to just the 1 run. And the runner you stranded on third was LeBron. So think about that. He's the second hitter of the game, doubles, and then he doesn't get past third base after that. That really puts into perspective what Anthony Iansson did to get out of that first. Now, the 31 pitches wasn't ideal, but that's where the battle comes in for him. Fast forward it to the 4th inning, because right there, it could have gone way sideways for you. LSU, they put up their 2 runs. We'll go back to that. You need the shutdown zero, right? And, you end up loading the bases again, this time with 2 outs, but this time for Justin LeBron. And that is just not the spot you want to be. Now, LSU has done a nice job against him this weekend. He's got 1 hit, and it was that double. But anytime he comes up with runners on base, you hold your breath, because he's a legit 1-1 prospect for the draft in 26. Like, he is arguably the best player in the SEC. And Iansson fell behind in that count, and to his credit, he comes back, it works full, and he drops a dandy of a breaking ball in there to get LeBron swinging, and that was just, you can't really put into words how big of a moment in the ball game that was for Anthony Iansson. So just a major hat tip to him there. He gets you through the 5th, and then, he goes back out there in the 6th inning and carves the bottom of that lineup. That is just huge for Iansson to get you through 6 after throwing 33 pitches in the first, loading the bases twice throughout that game, and escaping it with only 1 earned run. 6 innings, 115 pitches, the 5 walks. That ain't great. The strike zone sucked, but it sucked for both sides. So 6 innings, 1 earned run, 4 hits allowed. 5 walks, 12 strikeouts. Major hat tip to Anthony Iansson. And when he needed to, he made big pitches and he let them hang. That was an awesome performance when he didn't have his best stuff. And again, I'll point to the fastball, but what helped him out massively is he had a feel for both of his breaking balls. And that was huge. That splitter/slider, it looked awesome coming out of his hand tonight. Like, he had a great feel for that pitch. So major hat tip to Anthony Iansson. Not only did he keep LSU in the ball game, he had points where he was dominant tonight and points where he really struggled. But when he needed to, He reached back, grabbed something extra that all the great ones have, and made the big pitches when he had to against the top hitters of the other team. Awesome, awesome performance by Anthony Iansson. Could not be happier for him. That was great. Now, shifting to the LSU offense. I thought they did a really good job against Riley Quick. I mean, obviously, you got 4 runs off of him, and it was interesting to see because he was pitching backwards really all night. That's a kid who could throw 99 miles an hour. And for the most part, he just pitched backwards. You saw a lot of off-speed stuff to start the hitters out, but when you finally got to the 4th inning and you're at the bottom of that order, and man, Chris Stanfield has been awesome all year, but especially this weekend. And it was a 4-hit night for him. Generous on the 4th hit. That was an error. But Stanfield, this was Braswell that got it started for you in the third. In the 3rd inning, Braswell hits the single to short and advances on the throwing error to second base. And then Stanfield follows it up with the single that scores Braswell. You fast forward to Dickinson's at bat. After Curiel, I believe he grounded out. Dickinson smashes one to third. It goes between the legs of the third baseman. It was originally ruled a hit, then changed to an error, and now changed back to a hit later in the game. So it's a RBI single, and that gives LSU the 2-1 lead. Then you have the huge opportunity with Iansson there in the 4th. He puts up the big 0. You go to the bottom of the 4th. You go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and that's when Stanfield doubles. But before that, That's when Stanfield doubles. It's the second base runner of the inning. Unit was 2nd and 3rd, and Derek Curiel comes up, and in a 2-strike count, just does what Derek Curiel does. Singles to center field, extends his reached base streak, drives in 2 runs. You're up 4-1. That's all the runs you needed in the end, but it would have been nice to see LSU's offense kind of go in a hole late in that game. Was disappointing. That not really something that you loved. You left the bases loaded in the 8th. That's the one that really sticks out the most to me. And then after that, or before that, you also left a runner on 3rd with less than 2 outs. Forgive me, I don't remember what inning, but you had strikeout from Dickinson and Jones late in the game. And that was just it's not what you're looking for at that spot. So again, you expanded the zone. A lot of the bad habits showed up again in the back half of the game, but early LSU's offense was very good, especially with runners in scoring position, which is what you wanted to see. Jones had an RBI double in there. I mean, that was in the 3rd inning as well. So Dickinson scored the first run on that single deal. Then Jones doubled, and then Curiel with the 2 RBI single. And you credit LSU staff. We'll talk about Zack Cowan here in a minute because I have some thoughts. But Alabama, while that offense can certainly produce, and you saw that Thursday night, that's a team that has been averaging three runs per game their last 2 weekends in conference. Only 4 runs per game overall in conference. And it showed tonight. I do want to commend their bullpen, though, as well. Because I see all y'all's questions about Chase Shores. We'll talk about that. Just give me a minute. I want to talk about Cowan, and then we'll get to questions. I lost my train of thought by saying that. Sorry, guys. So at this point, I'll tell you, smash the like button if you have not already. Please share as well. We got a little bit later of a start tonight, so please share and subscribe. Oh, I wanted to commend Alabama's bullpen. They've been really struggling, and Braylon Myers has been one of their better arms, and he's been awesome. What's been huge for LSU, though, you have not allowed them to go to Carson Osmer, and that's massive. You'll see him tomorrow at some point because he's just too good to go a full weekend without pitching. But it was awesome to see LSU stay the course, even against some really good pitching out of the Bama bullpen tonight with Myers and then Colson Buchanan. Zack Cowan. He wasn't sharp. He wasn't as sharp. He got the job done. He made the big pitches when he needed to. That ninth inning just had the feeling that it was going to be stressful. I haven't tweeted after the top of the eighth. You need to get it would be great if they could get an insurance run because you're going to have to face the top of that order, and it'll be the second time they saw Cowan at the top of that order, and that's a really, really good top of the order. He wasn't as sharp. He gave up the 2 runs. I think that's the most he's given up all year. But I do have a theory, let me say I can't help but wonder if having to get Cowan hot 2 days in a row contributed a little bit to him not being as sharp. And yes, Leon, you're right. A save is a save. He got the job done. That's his job, is to get the last out before, the lead expires. And he did that. I only say that getting him hot 2 days in a row. This is the first time we've seen that this year. And that's a former starting pitcher. Remember that. He's had to move to the bullpen. And he is adapted to that move extremely well. Zack Cowan's been phenomenal. But that is something that I can't help but wonder. And I'll just go back. I didn't love the way they handled it in the ninth inning tonight to go for that reason, that they had to get Cowan hot and put him in the game. But you saw him come back. He threw 45 pitches. He got the last 9 outs for you before the lead expired. That is perfect. So you'll take it every time. That's save number 6. He was great. And again, punches out LeBron with a man on third base. Just really good. So, Zack Cowan did what you needed him to do. He spent up for the weekend. You won the series. That's huge. So, as bad as everybody felt a week ago, LSU comes back home and they take a very winnable series. And they've done it in 2 different ways. And that's something we've seen from this team plenty this season, is winning games multiple different ways. You slugged your way to victory game 1. You did it with dominant pitching here in game number 2. So, just awesome. The GOAT you heard, you beat me to it. I was going to point out 2 guys individually in the lineup tonight, and one of them was Chris Stanfield. 4 for 4, and again, we'll call it that, but his 4th hit was an error. 4 for 4 in your 9-hole. There's just not another team in the country that has a 9-hole hitter like LSU. There just isn't. Chris Stanfield is your leading hitter in SEC play. He's got to be up around 340 overall in the season at this point now with the 4 for 4 night. He continually sets up your offense. And when you go out there and you're able to turn the lineup over for the likes of Derek Coryell, who has reached base in every damn game this season, which is so ridiculous to think about for a true freshman. Think of the true freshman performances you've seen at LSU. Think about that. Todd Walker, Bregman, go through, there's so many. And Coryell's own ability is huge for him in doing that. But having a guy like Stanfield continually flip the lineup and be on base just contributes to what Coryell's doing. Those two as a tandem are incredible. To have 2 leadoff hitters like that. And it worked out so many times tonight. In each inning that you scored it, you had those guys, impacting. Stanfield started both of your rallies. Him and Braswell at the bottom of that order. And that's been my favorite thing about LSU offensively this year, has been the bottom of the order. And it hasn't really mattered who you've put down there, whether it was Milam starting the season in the 8-hole, or Luis Hernandez, or, obviously Chris Stanfield, but now I've been Michael Braswell. It's just massive. Absolutely massive. So Stanfield, I was absolutely going to get to him and point him out. The other one is Danny Dickinson, because he had a 3-hit night and drove in a run all out of the 2-hole. That kid he has translated perfectly. That was always going to be a question with some of these guys that Jay went out and got, because this is the first year they really went into the portal and got, G5 guys, G4 guys. And they've hit. They have hit on them. So, just awesome. Those two guys in particular, the impact they had on this game. And LSU's offense as a whole, y'all. Stephen Milam tonight smoked the baseball 3 times and had nothing to show for it. He lined out to the pitcher, hit a ball to the wall and right, and then ripped the line drive to right as well. Milam has seen it great, and when they start falling in, he's going to go on a run, probably similar to what you saw at the end of last year for him. LSU had, y'all help me, I don't have the box score in front of me. They have 13 hits again tonight. Was it 13 hits again tonight? Or was it 12? I think it was 12. 12, yeah, okay, Tanner. Thank you, Tanner Thurman. 12 hits tonight. That's 25 hits in 2 games for LSU. That's pretty darn good. 25 hits in 2 games. 14 runs. That'll do. Y'all smash the like button. We'll get to questions here momentarily and talk about game number 3. Gotlit Light Installers. Do have to give you a reminder. Go to gotlitlights.com for your permanent outdoor landscape lighting, front yard or backyard, your custom design. They make it a reality. Gotlit Light Installers illuminate your landscape, whether it's the backyard patio or your front yard flower beds. Gotlit Light has you covered for all your outdoor lighting needs. Also temporary event lighting for outdoors like weddings, wedding receptions. Again, custom design, cut to fit, maintenance, install, tear down, storage. Gotlit Lights. They handle it all. All you do is you say, Derek, this is what I want. I want to do this. And his team makes it a reality, and they take it from there. Gotlit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com. All right, questions. I've seen a few that I already wanted to answer. Let's go back, but we'll start with Chase Shores. Why was Chase Shores warming up in the bullpen? Well, because the starts haven't gone great. That's the simplest answer. The starts haven't gone great for Chase Shores, and last week was a giant step backwards. It just was. It's why we did the segment middle of the week when everyone wanted to focus on LSU's offense, because yes, it was bad, but you couldn't ignore that Shores had a really nice outing against State, a really nice outing against Oklahoma, and then took a step back. Now, I believe he will start the game tomorrow, but I also believe you're in for whole staff, unless he just goes out there and dominates. But Shores, it hasn't been as crisp as you've wanted it to be. But they announced him prior to the weekend as the 3rd starter. So given he hasn't pitched, I expect him to go out there and start. But I don't think it's a very long leash unless he's just throwing the game of his life, because your bullpen is set up really well. Really well. Connor Ware hasn't pitched. William Schmidt hasn't pitched. Jay Newt hasn't pitched. Maverick Rizzi hasn't pitched. Like, you're in a great spot pitching-wise. And Kason Evans can give you an inning or 2. He threw 35 pitches, so you're not extending him again. But he can give you something. You have a great chance pitching-wise to go sweep this series on Saturday. But that's why. That's why he was warming up. And that tells you right there what we talked about earlier in the week. That thought has entered their mind. That, okay, we might need to switch it up. But, I mean, that's why. I saw somebody ask, forgive me, I don't know the name and I can't find the comment, but they asked if LeBron is having a bad weekend or if he's overrated. Well, I can tell you this, he's not overrated. And I can tell you this, he's not having a bad weekend. LSU's having a great weekend against him. I'm giving LSU, Nate Yeske, and their pitchers all the credit in the world for the job they have done against Justin LeBron, because he has come up in spots where he can impact the ball game, and LSU has gotten him out in each one of those. So I'm giving them all the credit, every single bit of it, and they deserve it. They have mixed the pitches incredibly well against him. They have punched him out looking on fastballs, and they have gotten him swinging on breaking balls. They have had him incredibly off balance, and I give them all the credit. Leon asked about Zane Adams, the guy pitching for Bama. He's their first starter. He's not their ace. Their ace, their best starting pitcher is Riley Quick, who you saw Friday night. Adams has struggled lately. When he's got it going, though, he can be really good. But he has gotten run ruled the last 2 times out. And he's got an ERA in conference play north of 8. That's a guy you should get to if you're LSU. If you want to know what he would look like if he's going good, it's the breaking ball. The breaking ball is filthy and it's got a lot of depth to it. So I like LSU's chances against Zane Adams on Saturday. I really do. I really, really do like that. All right, let's see. Any more questions here? Randy Jones, what happened to Musso doing Musso in the box while walking out of the park to the car? My phone was about to die the last 2 nights, and I needed my charger. Otherwise, we would not be having a show right now. Justin Hunt comments on Aaron Beatty and the bat. Yeah, man, the bat was real bad tonight for Aaron Beatty. And I expect a little bit of that, though. This was his first extended action in conference play, and he's facing Riley Quick. So, I mean, I expect that, but he had some really non-competitive ABs. I mean, he struck out on 3 pitches twice tonight. That's rough. Now, he was awesome behind the plate. I mean, early in that game, when Bama had a bunch of runners on and runners at third, he blocked up the ball exceptionally well. So while the bat struggled mightily tonight, he has made awesome strides behind the plate and should be commended for that. Because earlier in the season, you don't even think about putting him in that game. Jason Williams. Not that Jason Williams, huh? What is up with Jones? He's been bad in SEC play. Okay, let's be clear. Jones has been bad the last 2 weekends in SEC play. Before that, Jones was hitting like 280 in conference play. He's in a slump. He's had a bad few weekends. But jeez, Tommy Whiteburner, calm down, brother. But it's, sorry for anybody watching the show later. I'm not reading that comment. But it's highlighted right now, and it was highlighted last weekend because you got swept. Jones's numbers in conference play right now are skewed. But Jones, a season ago, hit 277, and he was right around that number before the Auburn season. So he just needs to... I thought the 2 walks at the end of the night for him Thursday were really good. The double was great, and then in his next at-bat, he stung a ball to the warning track. I think it's coming. I do think it's coming for Jared Jones. He's certainly seen it better. And then in the first inning, he got hosed on strike 3. That was an awful call by a clown behind the plate. Jay Johnson even came out of the dugout. And argued balls and strikes. So that was awful. And it should have been a walk, and instead he punched out. So that was bad. But I think it's coming for Jared Jones. I really, really do. Let's see. To goat you heard. Do not egg on Tommy White-Burner. Do not do it. Ashley Thompson, you know who else was non-competitive? Ethan Fry. Fry had one good at bat tonight. He fell behind 0-2 against Quick and worked the walk. But other than that, he left a lot to be desired. He came on strong at the end of Thursday's game, which was good to see. Had a single against the righty, then walked and homered off of a lefty. But that spoke volumes when they pinch hit. When they pinch hit. Okay, first of all, Arkansas is about to lose a series to A&M. That's a problem. That's a big problem going forward. That A&M is back. They take that series from Arkansas, they are absolutely back. Andrew Sapp, should Fry only be hitting against left-handers again? Yeah, I mean, you're getting to that point where you're going to have to start platooning there. You just are. Because it's a struggle for him against righties now. Again, now it is. And that's disappointing. That it really is disappointing to see because it looked like he had really turned a corner in that facet of his game. So I really did not want to hear that A&M is about to win that series. I really, really did not want to hear that. That sucks a lot. So that series takes on a whole new meaning. They win that because they'll be playing for something against LSU regardless, and they're playing some really, really good baseball right now, especially at the plate. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But that makes the series win you just had tonight all that more important. And yeah, go Tigers right there. Tennessee series is going to be fire. That sets up the matchup now with Tennessee next weekend. You're both going to be in great spots in the league, and that's going to be absolutely huge. Randy Jones, that is not A&M's nice straight win. They got destroyed in the first game of a doubleheader today at Arkansas. So they had to play two. They got some weather coming in up to Fayetteville. Let's see. Justin Hunt says, who gets the first shot at Shore's spot in the rotation if they move him out? I think it's William Schmidt. We talked about that earlier in the week. I think that's the route you go. And I'm very excited to see it. The interesting thing is, for me, this would have been the weekend to make the move, though, if you were going to do it. But then they pitched Schmidt for 60-plus pitches on Tuesday. I don't think you throw a freshman or anybody, for that matter, making their first start in SEC play against Tennessee in that third game. Because that could be you going for a sweep. Hopefully that's what it is. That could be you in a rubber game, or that could be you staving off a sweep, trying to salvage a game. So that's just not a spot. So, this really would have been the weekend to kind of do that. But you get a win Saturday, and you build your cushion back up. And then you can have a little bit of freedom to make a move here and there that you would like. So, Saturday's game's huge for LSU. And I think they have a really good chance to sweep. I really do. I really do. But first and foremost, I'm very happy they won this series because LSU should have won this damn series a year ago. They were better than Alabama then, and they're better than them now. And I'm glad that they got this series win. The good guys prevailed in this one this year. And they should have last year, but they did tonight. So that's really good. That's really good. How did Tennessee do today? Does anybody know? They started their series today. Contrary to popular belief, the entire league does not play Thursday, Friday, Saturday on Easter. You get the option, and not everybody takes the option. Tennessee and Kentucky and Florida, Mississippi State are your Friday, Saturday, Sunday series this weekend. Okay, Tennessee won. Crap. Kentucky can't do anybody a favor. 8-2. Wow. Yeah. How about that? Thank you, DeGoat you heard, and everybody else. Justin Hunt Doyle looked great. Yeah, I'm sure he did. That is somebody I really wanted LSU to go after in the portal. I was impressed when he came here with Ole Miss last year and pitched. And when he went into the portal, I really, really wanted LSU to go after him. But I'm not going to complain about Anthony Iansson getting here, or Zack Cowan, or any of those guys. LSU's hit on their pitchers out of the portal as well. All right, any more questions, guys, before we wrap it up? Smash the like button. We got almost 200 people watching and only 47 likes. Please smash the like button. Do me a solid and share. And get subscribed up if you haven't already to the YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast app. You can take the show with you wherever you go if you do that, and I very, very much appreciate it. If you want an official prediction for Game 3, I think LSU gets it done. I think they sweep Alabama this weekend. So, man, look, we loved them. We loved them in this series, and I'm not going to lie, that had me really nervous, how irrationally confident I was and how much I loved LSU in this series. But my faith was rewarded. They got the series dub, and now I think they have a great chance to sweep come Saturday. And I'm fired up, and hopefully they do. Hopefully they do go ahead and close it out and get that sweep. All right. Y'all smash the like button and get on your way out. Get subscribed. Go to gotlitlights.com. And be on the lookout. Full weekend recap. Not Saturday, most likely Sunday early morning before I go get the second half of Easter underway. But it's been great. Appreciate everybody. And be here next time for more on Musso at the Box.